Hey everyone, this is Isaac.
And this is Jackie.
From Nonessential Media, and you are listening to the Beach City CROWS podcast. This podcast is all about our favorite cartoons, mine being Steven Universe.
And mine being Haikyuu.
Just a warning, this episode will feature spoilers for Steven Universe through episode 100.
And spoilers for Haikyuu through season 2.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome to Beach City CROWS, and since Isaac has just finished season 2 of Haikyuu, we are going to take a little break here, so another character type episode, where we are going to talk about, well, just kind of how our feelings have changed since we first started this podcast, and where we're hoping this podcast takes us in terms of our feelings and where we think the show might go and all that fun stuff, so...
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Do you want to talk? Do we want to do like a show by show, or do we just want to have a conversation like we've been having and just kind of like?
Let's just have a conversation.
Cool.
It's the most natural. It will get all of our feelings about everything out.
Yeah. In case you guys don't know, we talk about these shows a lot outside of the podcast. Like the podcast is like the Miller Lite version of our.
Honestly.
This is Beach City CROWS Lite in real life. But anyways, yeah. So I'm actually going to start because I want to talk about Pearl, who I was very, very critical of in the first episode. I did not like Pearl. I didn't like the helicopter parent thing. I thought that she was just kind of obnoxious and annoying. And I hope, anyways, the listeners can tell that my opinion has definitely changed on her. And a lot of that has to do with the way they're going about peeling the layers back on Pearl.
The onion.
The onion. We don't mean literally onion, but forgot there's an onion.
I know,
like
I was
literal
thinking
onion
about
in the show. Just obviously there's a lot more still to explore with her character, but my original impression was that she was the one who was the strict follower of orders and all this stuff, but in truth, she's actually, as Peridot pointed out, she's not even close to how she's supposed to be. She's actually kind of a rebel in her own way. But then you kind of see why she has such a strong commitment to Steven, and that is because of Steven's mom. And I think Pearl's relationship with Rose really affects her relationship with Greg and with Steven, and honestly with all the other gems too. And seeing how she reacts to, as they've done the flashbacks, how she reacts to Greg and Rose's relationship and how she's trying to move on. But, no matter how many years have passed, it's really hard. And I think... she feels the most, it's going to sound kind of weird, but she feels the most human out of the gems so far.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where else she goes, because I think that at this point, don't get me wrong, Garnet's still the best. Garnet is top tier. Like if this was a tier system, she's in her own tier. She's in the Garnet tier.
Garnet's the top.
Garnet is the top. Kill me. Oh my god. But Pearl is definitely, super interesting, and I feel like there's just only more layers to peel back and only more psychoanalysis to do on her.
Yeah, she's pretty psycho in herself.
Wow.
I don't know, Pearl's just one of those characters, like you said, is just kind of too strict, too cookie cutter,
Yeah.
Like, by the rule book.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's just very... let Steven do what he wants, kind of guide him, kind of like Garnet's doing.
Yeah, I think that she's probably developed the most, too. And by development, I mean how much she's grown. There's also sometimes people use development to talk about how much they dive into a character to peel back those layers. But in this case, I'm talking about growth, to where, yeah, she definitely has learned to be more supportive of Steven rather than being... what's a good term for it? Smothering. She's not really smothering Steven anymore. And hopefully Connie's mom can learn to do the same for Connie. Seems like...
She literally tried to smother him in one of those episodes, though?
Oh my god, I think she did.
When she was sleeping, watching him sleep?
That's really creepy that she, watched him sleep.
I wanted them to go more into that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is Steven ever at a Pearl site?
Is Steven okay? Do we need to call 911?
Do we need to call CPS? Do we need to call the FBI?
What if CPS was a gem?
If CPS was a gem, first of all, this is going to be
Bismuth. I'm just kidding.
It's going to be a fun episode to edit. Anyways, if you were to ask me who would I rather be stuck on an island with, which is my favorite question, And one of the options was Pearl. It depends on who the other person is, but I might not pick Pearl. Okay, so let's do a background on this. Who would you rather be stuck on an island with? So my least favorite character, and this hasn't changed, is Amethyst. For a long time, Isaac's was Oikawa, so I asked him, who would you rather be stuck on an island with? Oikawa or Amethyst? And you said...
This pains me to say it now. I said Amethyst.
And this is the thing, is that these questions are fun because it shows you a mindset of what you think that character is capable of. Because my first instinct was, I don't care who I'm going to get partnered with. I don't want to be stuck with Amethyst. Because how annoying would that be? She wouldn't even let us get off the island. She would just be like, no, man, this is cool. And the next thing I know, I'm dead because I didn't eat anything. Because I've been stuck on an island for 60 days.
And she doesn't need to eat, so she's just parading around your dead body.
It could be literally not just a deserted island, a desert island. And Amethyst would think it's the cool until she got bored.
But how long does it take?
That's the thing, is I don't know. Does Amethyst get bored really easy? Sometimes I get that impression, and other times I get the impression that she finds ways to entertain herself.
Yeah, because you look at her room and it's like, how could you be entertained by that? All of that trash in there.
She's a hoarder. She obviously has there's some reason for her to be like that. She's got some underlying mental, probably because of her insecurities, I'd imagine. From where I'm at in the show, guys, okay, I don't know if it changes. Just get that out of the way now.
Now, Oikawa would instantly put up an SOS sign.
He would get off that island. He's not going to be stuck. That was
swim.
That was my argument with Isaac. I was like, Oikawa is not going to spend his last days on a deserted island with you. He's going to get off that island, and you're going to get off. Wow. Okay, let's get off with him.
He just leaves. He's like, all right, bye.
I'm just saying that you're less likely to be rescued with Amethyst on your side.
Okay, here's another question.
All right.
How many watermelons could one character crush with their thighs? Daichi or Garnet?
See, we've had this conversation. So Garnet has the thighs that you grip. Daichi has the thighs that grip you.
Perfect description.
So I think that Daichi would crush more watermelons at the end of the day because it's just like that hard muscle. And then I don't know if Garnet's thighs are muscle.
Who has more stamina? Like even
Garnet does.
It might take her a little bit to crush the watermelon, but like she could keep going. So bad.
Yeah, don't gems have like more or less almost unlimited endurance compared to human beings? I mean, they're...
Other times they do, and then other times, some of the animation, it's like, they look like they're...
exhausted.
Like dying.
I would say in comparison to a human being, though, they probably have higher levels of endurance, so they could crush more watermelons, even if it took them longer.
Now, Pearl versus Tsukishima.
Crushing watermelon, the two bean poles.
They are. They're like the show's bean poles.
They are. That's more of like a who can fit through the smallest space.
Limbo?
Limbo. Who can limbo out of those two?
Wait, no, never mind. They're too tall.
Right? That makes it even better.
Oh.
I imagine Pearl's probably more flexible than Tsukishima, though.
Yeah. She's also able to shapeshift.
Yeah, she just shapeshifts shorter.
Shapeshifts into Amethyst.
So do all gems have the ability to shapeshift, right?
Don't quote me. I'm gonna say yes, but I don't. I'm just gonna say I don't know.
Well, except for Peridot didn't, so I guess not.
And we've never seen Garnet. Actually, have we? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
When you watch over 100 episodes, guys, that's the thing, is it's been 100 episodes,
and, they all
after
just bleed together.
they've and at a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of miss some stuff. That's why I think both shows, we've talked about this before, both shows are shows that you appreciate probably more on a rewatch. Like, I told Isaac that when it came to Haikyuu, like, I totally enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but the rewatch is what made me realize how great it was with characters and how great it was with developing those characters.
And that's what you want in a show. You want rewatchability, you know?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And I think Steven Universe has that too. I think if I go back now, I mean, I want to finish it first, but I think after I finish it, and if I go back and rewatch some of the earlier episodes that I was a little more critical of, and some of the episodes that I wasn't really a fan of, I probably would appreciate them a little bit more now, because I'm going to be looking for the things that I didn't catch the first time. That, things about the characters and the plot and stuff, so. You
mentioned Peridot.
Yeah, the Dorito chip.
What's your opinion on the tortilla Dorito chip?
Yeah, because, every time I see her, I literally want to eat nachos, so we'll start there. She just looks like a tortilla chip dipped in guacamole.
So she's not good for your diet.
No, not at all.
So automatically don't like her.
No, Peridot's an interesting one for me because when Peridot first was introduced, I didn't know, I think I said this in a podcast recently, I didn't know what they were going to do with her character. And then it wasn't until, she kind of kept being a reoccurring character, but she hadn't done anything villainy or villainous.
Yeah.
She had seemed very, she was an interesting character, but she hadn't been evil yet. So I was like, okay, I think...
Very neutral.
Yeah, which made me think that she was probably going to eventually join the team. And then when it started to become obvious is when I started to pay more attention to her. And at first I was kind of annoyed with her because she was just so, like I said, a feral cat. And I'm not a fan of chaotic characters typically. I usually like quieter or cunning type characters, not ones that are just like bouncing off the walls. That's why I don't like Amethyst, but I can appreciate someone like Pearl more, or Garnet. But now I think it's what I like about her character now is that I didn't appreciate at first, but now looking back I can, is we were looking at Earth and we were looking at Steven and humanity and the crystal gems through the lens of the homeworld. Like that was the first time we got to see how everything else that we've come to love and we've come to appreciate and to us is normal. We got to see how someone who sees that as evil or wrong or not perfect, not the way it should be, we got to see that perspective of it, which was cool because now I think obviously there's still a lot more for me to learn about the Diamond Authority and Homeworld and all that stuff, but now I have a better idea of what their culture is like. When the previous episodes I didn't even, I mean there's no way I would have had a clue. They hadn't even been discussed yet.
Yeah, I do feel like that is one of the cooler things about the show is Peridot's involvement in the gem race, I guess you could say, gem culture.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that they chose her to show the audience what it's like.
Absolutely. Yeah, and she's been a catalyst for so many things in the plot line, which has been nice too. She's been kind of interesting, and she's still learning, which is cool too. We're watching her learn how to be a part of a different culture when she comes from a culture that's so much more strict.
Yeah. One thing I love about Peridot's, probably why she's one of my favorites, is her interactions with Garnet.
Oh, they're so perfect.
Those two could have their own mini-series together.
Yes, fund it. I would watch it.
And I can't believe they didn't fuse in that episode.
Lapis is the other one that got added in. The personification of trauma.
The rot.
Anyways,
of Gem Authority.
Of Gem Authority. They've tried to tackle some really heavy themes with her character, which has been pretty cool. Not really what I expected from a Saturday morning cartoon. It's kind of rare. Although it's becoming a little bit more common for people to try and weasel those heavier themes in. She does make me laugh sometimes, though, like the baseball episode when they were going through the names. She's like, Bob.
Peak Lapis.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it's, in a way, they're showing how trauma manifests itself in different ways with different people, and for her, the way she's dealing with everything that she's been through and all this built-up anger and trauma that she's been through is by having this, almost apathetic stance on life and everything going on around her. I mean, it's not necessarily the funnest thing on the planet to watch, but I think that in terms of character depth, I can definitely see what they're going for, and I appreciate it, and I think they're doing a good job with that aspect of it. That's the thing, is it's a Saturday morning cartoon, but it's not shying away from some heavier themes and some heavier developments with these characters, which is pretty cool.
Jasper.
I don't like Jasper. I wish Jasper would just go away at this point. Peridot. I wish Jasper would just go away. Peridot.
Yeah, Jasper is she's just there to be a warmonger.
Yeah.
I feel like she's more or less just a villain.
Yeah, that's all she is.
In the way, right now. I don't know what the new series has in store. It looks cool. But yeah.
This episode will be out by the time that episode airs.
Will it?
Yeah, I think this episode will air on December 7th. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm going to leave this in here no matter what so people will know.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Garnet?
Yeah, like I said about Garnet, it's hard for me to have a different opinion because my opinion on her really hasn't had I think I love that we've dive so much more into her character in the story, like really fleshed her out where we have a good understanding of what her fears are, what she dislikes, what she enjoys. She's always been a very mature, well-rounded character, so she doesn't need to grow in that aspect, and she doesn't really need to go from a strength aspect either. So it's been more about exploring who she is and what she's about, and how she's overcoming some of the things that she's been put through from people like Pearl.
Oh yeah, that was a doozy.
Real
doozy.
That was an interesting set of episodes. So that was very, but I still love Garnet. Garnet, she kills me. She makes me laugh. She's does the coolest moves. We can't go on enough about how she literally won a battle by rapping at them. Like, how lit was that?
We stand Garnet.
We stand Garnet.
More than any other character.
Yes.
Actually, no, I'm a Ronaldo stan.
Oh my god. Okay, so least favorite character. Who would you rather be stuck?
Oh my god.
On an island with?
I already know. None.
You have to choose. Ronaldo. Ooh, what's a good one? There's literally no character in all of Haikyuu that's as annoying as Ronaldo.
I'm trying to think too, and I'm like, wait, what? Does not compute?
Okay, would you rather be stuck on an island with Ronaldo or be crushed by Daichi's thighs? I can't believe I asked that.
At least if you're crushed by Daichi's thighs, you know that he's doing it for your own good. He's like, it's either me or Ronaldo, buddy. I'm just gonna put you out of your misery. He's like, listen, there's no other way I can do this. I have to use my thighs. Ronaldo's like, let me use my thighs. Oh my gosh. And then Connie is another character that I've really enjoyed. I think that I've never really disliked her, though, which is kind of cool. I didn't like, at first, when they first introduced her, that she kind of word vomited all of her stuff at Steven. Like, it was like they were trying to just hurriedly get out what she was about. But they've done a good job since then balancing that. And the way she's really stepped it up, and she's kind of become a badass. Like, Connie's become really cool. I'm excited to see where she goes for sure. I think that for her, we're only going to see her get stronger and smarter and faster and better. Yeah. Because she's the kind of character, too. She's an inspiration because she wants to be better at everything. She's like an exponential growth chart. Have we covered... That's pretty much... Oh, Greg.
We haven't talked about Greg. I still don't think Greg's a good dad, but I think that they've done such a good job with the flashbacks. We've talked about this before. The music is so good. The songs are so good. I can't get enough of when they use songs in the episodes. I think that Greg is a more interesting character to me. I still don't understand him because I don't understand people like him who are, I don't even, like, so detached from their responsibilities.
Break their ankle.
And then, like, trick their own son. That's so weird. I still don't understand that dynamic between Greg and Steven. It's very weird. Yeah, I definitely appreciate him more as a character, at least. I think I understand. Like, I don't have to like him to not, I don't have to like him to still appreciate how well they did his character.
Yeah.
And I hope there's only more to explore with him. I think that would be really cool. And as for Steven...
Long pause.
I'm trying to think what to say without sounding like a jerk, but I don't dislike Steven, but he's not my kind of protagonist. So that makes it kind of difficult because he is, and he knows he's not smart. Like, he knows he relies on the gems. So what I'm hoping for Steven with these next 60 episodes and the movie is that I get to see him stand more on his own. I think he's already starting to go that direction. He's already starting to make his own decisions. He's already learning how to control his powers a little bit better. He's learning new powers. He's learning to be a little bit more responsible. He's having a wider emotional spectrum. But I hope that he becomes a truly independent and strong person by the end of it. Strunk. Okay, I think that covers Steven Universe, right? Yeah, I didn't talk about Lars and Sadie. Have they fucked yet? That's the only question. Have Lars and Sadie made babies yet? That's the only question. Because that's the only... No, they haven't yet still. I can't wait for them to get past that aspect of them and have them become more independent. Because they tried that with Sadie's song and like Lars and the Cool Kid and stuff. But they're still so connected by this will they, won't they, or have they, haven't they, I guess, relationship that I hope that Sadie deserves better. Like, Lars isn't a bad guy, but come on, Sadie. Get it together, girl. Yeah.
And then Onion. He's just Onion.
I'm getting an onion tattoo. We've discussed this. Like, that's it, guys. I'm going to get an onion tattoo.
So
I even know where it's going to go, too.
Are you getting Onion on a harpoon or Onion?
Yes.
Just Onion.
I want to get onion on a harpoon. We're doing the little thumbs up.
Oh my god. With a burning background.
Yeah, just flames all around.
Okay, so Haikyuu.
Let's talk about Haikyuu.
Let's start out with Hinata.
My boy Hinata.
Hinata's always been... He's always been him.
Yeah, he is who he is.
He is the one character, besides Daichi a little bit, but for the most part, Hinata is the character that doesn't change personality-wise. He changes, I guess, like, player-wise. I don't know.
Yeah, he has a lot of development as a volleyball player. He has a lot of development in his skill set. But who he is, that is just who he is. Like, he is a hardworking, nose to the grindstone, very ambitious, very energetic, very bubbly, outgoing personality.
But he's the perfect character.
Yeah, I love him.
He's like...
He's so inspiring.
I don't want to be mean, but he's what Steven should have been. Don't get mad at me, it's just my opinion. I still love Steven in his own way.
Oh, I'm going to throw this out there. You started working out recently. How much of that was inspired by Haikyuu?
I was thinking about that too. So it must have been at least a little bit if I was thinking about it. So I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about like Hinata's energy and his fit level and how he's, everyone in that show's constantly improving their mental and physical capacities.
It's not so much about like, oh, they're all fit. It's more of like Hinata's drive.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like, oh, I want to have that passion.
Yeah.
For something, other than eating all day.
Then you would just be Amethyst and Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, sorry, continue.
I love the fact, from an art standpoint, his hair, amazing. Like, he's the sun. He's fiery, passionate. It's perfect for him.
Yeah.
I think Haikyuu does amazing with that, with character design. It's subtle, but it's there.
You can you look at them and you get an idea of their strength level and their personality type. Yeah, absolutely.
I was already looking at Hinata like, okay, this guy must be like crazy.
Yeah.
Which is what you get. His hair is like spiky all over the place, red, orange, I should say.
It's all the same spectrum.
But yeah, Hinata is also, he meets all of the antagonists in the bathroom, so it's like perfect.
He really does.
And then his counterpart, I would say, I don't know if you would say, Kageyama?
Oh yeah, his counterpart and his partner, all in one. Yeah, absolutely.
That's something about Hinata, is he brings out everyone's emotions. I don't know.
Yeah, he's that kind of person where when people are around him, they just open up. And
he's easzy to talk to, easy to be yourself around.
As we saw with Yachi, how he turned her around completely with his personality and, helped her grow exponentially. Isaac is shipping them right now in his head.
He really turned Yachi out.
He really turned her out. We are bad people.
So Kageyama, Hinata's counterpart.
Yeah. Hinata's counterpart. What? Hinata's counterpart. Kinoshita?
Man, Kinoshida's amazing character development.
There's all 0 seconds of playtime and 3 lines, which are
Naruto's one line in season 2. Loved it.
He's
that
like,
backstory.
Yeah, let's
go. Kageyama.
Yes.
Sad boy.
Sad boy.
He's still a sad boy. I don't think that'll ever change. That's just... He's not sad, but he's, like, reserved.
He's very reserved. That's who he is. He's reserved and...
He analyzes.
Yeah. Very introverted.
Yeah.
Compared to Hinata, who's definitely not.
Which is weird. Me and Jackie yesterday were talking about personalities a little bit more. And I don't know if... So, Kageyama's introverted. I'm introverted. But I don't really... like Kageyama that much. Hinata is super extroverted. I'm not, but I love Hinata.
You're just drawn to that character type, because I'm introverted and I identified with Kageyama so much. Like, it's crazy. Like, I think back and I think about who I was at 15, 16 years old, and I'm like, that's me. Like, I 100% Kageyama. Like, it was so crazy and watching his journey as he overcomes the King of the Court title, and then actually comes to learn to embrace the leadership aspect of it, was like my own personal journey all over again. So So I think part of it is what you're drawn to as, like, what you're looking for in a fictional character. Like, Steven's really outgoing too, but I think about, what I'm looking for in a character. I'm not looking for someone who is blindly optimistic or blindly outgoing or, like, obnoxious. I'm not really into that. And maybe for you, like, you're more into the bubbly, outgoing, like, super fun type
What can
characters.
I say? I'm an idealist. Something about Haikyuu that they do amazing at is they have all these characters and they explore really in-depth, very specific things.
Yeah.
Which I found very fascinating about the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, that King of the Court title, like, what other show is going to dive into that and then dive into it even after he gets rid of that title?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's part of his personality that's not going to go away, and so how do you take that part of your personality and use it to your advantage, I think is kind of a lesson that's taught there. Haikyuu really is it's a character study, though. That's what it is. Like, what Steven Universe does amazingly well is its world building, and it sets up a fantastic, interesting plane for these people to exist on, and how they exist is very unique and all that stuff. That is what it excels at. Haikyuu is grounded very much so in reality, and so the only way you can make it entertaining is, number one, how do you create realistic stakes in a volleyball game? But then, I mean, you don't care about those stakes if you don't care about those characters, because who wins a volleyball game is not anywhere near as important as saving the Earth from the cluster.
Yeah, but they do it better.
Don't say that. So the way Haikyuu brings those stakes out is to make you really, really, like, think about these characters, and I think it makes you think about yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Relatability.
Which I think was something with Inoshida. Because remember, I kept going on about how much, like, Inoshida... Oh,
yeah, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, he's amazing, man.
he gets, like, 2 episodes, but they're the best 2 episodes. But you saw that what made him so great was that relatability. Like, everyone would rather just sit at home, eat ice cream under the air conditioner, and read a comic than go and work. But he ran away, and the interesting thing about him is how that guilt still eats away at him, and it's something that he will constantly be facing. He's going to constantly think, I remember when I ran away, and I remember what a coward I was. And he's going to try so hard to overcome those feelings for a long time.
Yeah, and I think it was awesome for Tadashi as well, because he's the same way. He's had all these moments where he should just, in his head, he thinks he should just stop.
Yeah.
But like Inoshida, he keeps going. And I think Inoshida helped bring that out even more.
Yeah, because Inoshida got thrown into an even more precarious situation. Like, he wasn't just coming in to serve one ball. Like, he was taking over Daichi's spot.
He was the captain.
Yeah, he had to...
For that game.
He had to create a whole new foundation when Daichi left the game.
And Wakunan was not an easy match.
No, that was a tough one. It's interesting because... they skate by all the other ones. I mean, Jozenchi, the party team, was because they were idiots.
I feel like that was more of a, let's take a break. The stakes are still high, but let's take a break.
Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, Wakunan comes in, and it's not an easy match for them. And I don't think it would have been easy even if Daichi would have stayed. I think they still would have had their struggles. But Tadashi has great character. You mentioned Tadashi.
God. Like, he's probably, honestly, my favorite.
Understandable. Like, the change he goes through, not just as a volleyball player, but as a person, is so pronounced. I love it. I think that is an absolute clinic on character development.
Literally.
When we talk about development, that's it.
Jackie's actually writing a book right now on character development. The only page in it is just a picture of Tadashi.
That's all there is.
And it says, it just has a URL to his character to buy on a wiki.
It only costs you $9.99 plus shipping and handling.
But yeah, something I was gonna talk about, the characters. They all have their moment of doubt, and they all have their moment of getting out of that doubt.
It's so inspiring.
And it's so relatable. It's so real.
We've all been there. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter where you've been in life, what you've gone through. You have had doubt, and you have had to overcome it. And you will continue to have doubts, and you will have to continue to overcome them.
And the thing about the show is you'd think that it'd get kind of boring because they delve into everyone's doubt and everyone's grief and bad moments. But it's not, because they all have different personalities, different backgrounds, different ways of getting out of it.
Yeah, there's no cliche characters.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
Even Hinata's not cliche.
Yeah, I mean, he's what I would expect from a shonen anime protagonist, but the way they go about him is typically with sports animes, especially, they usually have some special ability or special talent. He doesn't really have anything except his drive and his ambition, and he's born athletic, but I mean, big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not what's making him successful. His desire is what's making him successful.
Yeah.
So.
But Kageyama the dynamic between him and Oikawa is so interesting to me.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It was so interesting to me. It made me hate Oikawa for, like, a whole season.
More than that. It was like a season and a half. It wasn't until I think the second match against Aoba Josai you were like, okay.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah. Where's that sound clip at?
Yeah, it's so interesting, because Kageyama doesn't even know. He doesn't even know that this guy does not like him.
I think he has an idea, but I think Kageyama and Oikawa's relationship is a lot more complicated than either one of them wants to admit. I think Oikawa takes pride in what he's taught Kageyama, because Kageyama learned a lot from Oikawa, and I think he is proud of that fact, and I think he does, even though he won't admit it, I think he does see Kageyama as his disciple in a way. And Kageyama knows that he's learned things from Oikawa, so there is a respect there, but there's going to be that rivalry because, I mean, Oikawa was a petty little punk and didn't like that Kageyama was better than him. It upset him, and I don't blame him. I'd be mad too.
I feel like anyone in his position would feel the same exact way.
Yeah, stuck between a wall and a hard place. Kageyama doesn't give Yachi enough credit for the amount of hours she put in.
Oh my god.
Hinata and Kageyama can do that new quick because Yachi spent as many hours as Kageyama did learning how to set that frickin' ball.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, shout out to the queen.
Queen Yachi, I bow to you.
Queen Yachi, wow, okay. Well.
Well, so and that's the second character.
You're like, and done. I don't know, you'll remember it. Just go on to the next one. Ooh, Tsukishima. Tell me about Tsukishima.
Suki Dude.
Suki Dude. Oh, Bokudo.
Sorry, I had to bring that reference in.
It's okay.
Tsukishima. I, like Oikawa, did not like at first.
Yeah, he's kind of a punk when he first shows up.
He's very a punk.
Yeah.
Just
want to take his glasses off and knock him out.
Yeah.
I'd be salting a child at that point, but you know what?
And then you're wondering why Tadashi's with him, and you're like, this guy's so reserved. Why is he just his shadow? And then it all gets peeled back, and Tsuki he's had some trauma as far as the game goes. Mm-hmm. His brother wasn't on Karasuno.
Yeah, his brother lied about being on the starting lineup.
And that is a perfect example. That whole arc in season 2 is a perfect example of why you don't lie.
Yeah. Well, and it's sad because you can tell that their relationship hasn't been properly mended yet. And, you know, I think his brother really wants that relationship to be fixed. He even goes out of the way and buys him new glasses and everything and tells him to come train with his team and really is trying to fix the bridge that's been burned. But Suki is just, he's a kid, you know, I get it. Like, I would have been stubborn against my brother too if he would have lied about that, so... It's frustrating to see, but you definitely get it. But it does show you why he has the it's just a club mentality that Bokuto and Kuro really don't like him saying, and they try so hard to get him to see it differently. And well, now it's just we'll just have to wait and see if Suki ever does have that moment.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
We'll see.
Right now, I would say Suki for me is kind of like a Tanaka. It's just, for me, he's just there. I don't like him. I don't dislike him.
Got it.
I appreciate his character more than anything. I appreciate how good he is for the team.
Yeah.
Nishinoya.
Yes.
Very...
It's a little badass.
I think of, like, the Energizer Bunny. Just, like, on their court.
Does he have an off switch? No. He's just constantly...
Constant.
I dream to have that level of energy.
He sleeps with his eyes open.
He probably does.
But, like you said, he's kind of a one-layer character.
I don't like saying he's one layer, but I think that his development... He's not someone who develops personality-wise
sort of like Hinata.
Yeah, he definitely, he's already a really great Libero, so we have to
Yeah.
take that into consideration. Like, we already have one of the best Liberos in the country on this team, but he does learn new things, and he does grow, and what I like about Nishinoya is, and Hinata's the same way, and this is what's so cool about both their characters, is when someone's really freaking good, Nishinoya loves that, and he loves seeing it, and he wants to challenge them, but he respects them at the same time.
Yeah.
Just a great example of sportsmanship from Nishinoya all the time. And he does grow as a player, I will say. But is he a different man? Number one, he's not a man, he's a child. But is he a different guy now at the end of Season 2 than he was at the beginning of Season 1 in terms of personality? And I don't think there's a huge level of difference.
And I don't think there needs to be. Like, that's just his personality.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem with it. I don't anyways.
I don't.
Especially when they're already diving so much into so many other characters. Like, he kind of had his moment. We talked about this before. Him and Asahi kind of already had their moment in the sun in the very beginning. And they had to overcome their own issues and doubts and stuff to get... Well, Nishinoya doesn't have doubts, but... Asahi, on the other hand, has a lot of doubts.
I loved that whole scenario.
Oh, it was great. It was
because they could have easily all been like, no, like, it was your fault. Mm-hmm. But it was my fault.
They all accepted responsibility and they all grew from it, which was just a great lesson for everyone out there, for sure.
Honestly, that's one of the major things that kept me going through the first part of the first season.
Yeah, I warned you. I was like, man, it's brutal. Like, it's tough if you're not ready for it.
It's a toughie.
It's a toughie.
So Asahi.
Yeah, Asahi. Big boy.
Big boy Jesus.
That's a grown-ass man. What I'll say about Asahi is, in Season 3, you're gonna love him again.
I don't not love him.
You're gonna love him more. You're gonna love all the senpais in Season 3.
Great. Can't wait.
Okay. Continue about Asahi.
Iron Wall.
Great moment,
Loved
right?
it. Amazing. He even had that moment when they were in the bleachers watching the Ioba Josai date tech game. And they kind of pan to him and see how he's reacting to it all. And he's kind of like, whoa.
Well, I mean, Awaizumi made the Iron Wall look like paper in comparison, so...
We'll get to him.
Who would win in an arm wrestling contest, Awaizumi or Asahi?
Probably Awaizumi.
Think so?
I think so. I don't think height really plays a...
You think Awaizumi's stronger than Asahi?
Yeah.
They're probably both 5 out of 5 power. And there's a chart somewhere, but I'm not going to look it up. I'm guessing they're both 5 out of 5 power.
They might, but I think Awaizumi's 5.1 out of 5. And Aussie's 5 out of 5. But yeah, Aussie's kind of like Nishinoya in that way. His personality is definitely more reserved, but I think you need those characters, especially on a team like Karasuno.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kind of their personality stays the same, but there's different personalities within that, if that makes sense, within the team.
Yeah.
And obviously they grow as players.
Yeah, Asahi grew a lot. I mean, no, that's the thing we didn't talk about with Nishinoya. I totally forgot about this. We're talking about him growing as a player. I mean, he knows how to set now.
Oh yeah,
like,
he
how
does.
Cool is that?
That set that him and Aussie pulled off.
So cool. Like, that's badass.
I was like, Hinata Kageyama Quick Attack Light. It's a long name.
Okay, Psycho. And then, yeah, Asahi, I mean, he busted his butt and, worked on his jump serve and wants to get that service ace, and I think it's freaking amazing.
They all greatness. They all strive for it.
They all improved so freaking much.
They all achieve it.
They achieve it. Send it.
Send it. Is there ever a character that is like about to set the ball and they just go send it?
They should. Right before they serve. Send
Tadashi, send it.
Send it, Tadashi.
Tanaka.
Your boy Tanaka.
Tanuaka. Is he?
Is he? Is he Tanaka?
Is he?
Is he?
Is it Tanaka?
Yes.
Can it Tanaka?
Can it Tanaka? It can Tanaka.
Okay.
Right.
5 out of 5. Mental fortitude.
Yeah, his mental fortitude is so good. Yeah, his mental fortitude is phenomenal, and he's kind of underrated in terms of power. Like, people forget that in terms of power, he's right behind Asahi.
I forget every time until he goes up and they really showcase his abilities.
Yeah. Yep. The rivalry that started between him and Mad Dog was pretty entertaining, too.
Yeah.
They didn't even realize they were goading each other.
That's something that we needed from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was kind of in the background a little bit.
Yeah, he'd been kind of hanging out in the shadows for a little bit. Except for the moment with the collision that he had with Daichi.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was the first time that you kind of see him crumble a little bit. And I think it's because Tanaka, despite how he looks and how he acts, he cares deeply about people, about everyone around him. He's a very caring, loving guy.
Yeah.
And it just hurt him so much that Daichi had collided with him, but it could have been anyone. And it could have been like, Inoshita and Asahi tell him, they're just glad he's okay, because it could have been very easily that they could have smacked heads together.
Oh, yeah. They could have both been out.
Yeah, so that was
and
kind
who
of...
would have taken his place? Kinoshita? Could you imagine Inoshita and Kinoshita on the same...
Oh my god.
The same match?
That would be too much. I'd just be like, Shida! One of you Shitas out there. Yeah, Tanaka he's fun. He's the comic relief.
Yeah.
But he's also supportive, so.
He's one of the number one fans of Kyoko, so.
Yeah, he would die for her.
I don't know, I think Nishinoya would die more for, if there was
a level of death that could be achieved, yeah. Nishinoya would excel.
If it was death and then torture then death, Nishinoya would be the torture then death for Kyoko. We got very dark. It didn't need to go there.
Wow. Yeah, that was...
Wait, can I just say, I saw Takeda on Stevens and, is it Lee in Richland?
Oh, yeah. Wait, there's a Takeda?
It looked just like him. I was going to take a picture.
You should have.
He was walking the crossroad. I was like, no way.
You look Takeda. Stop.
The same hair. It was like,
no
it wasn't
way.
a tracksuit. It was like all black.
Oh my god.
The glasses, same skin tone. I
Oh
was like,
my god.
Whoa. We keep talking about Daichi, and it's because he's the captain, and I feel like every character has their moments with him, and he has their moments with every character.
I love Daichi.
He's just so great.
He's amazing. When we talk about characters that I gravitate towards, his character type is one of the type that I gravitate towards. So it's really easy for me to appreciate Daichi. I didn't the first time I watched it because they didn't... I think it's easier when you have someone sitting here telling you, like, hey, appreciate Daichi. It's a little easier to realize he exists.
You literally had to be like, appreciate.
Yeah, because otherwise he does his role so well that he kind of fades into the background a little bit when you sort of take him for granted until you realize you're like, oh my gosh, like, he is Karasuno.
Yeah.
Like, him, Asahi, and Sugawara are the reason why Karasuno is trying as hard as they are, because they didn't give up, and they're going to keep going at it, and the only way they can do that is Daichi's maturity and his natural leadership abilities and his thighs.
I was thinking the same thing. The only way they can do it is Daichi's thighs.
They wouldn't succeed without Daichi.
He, like, receives the ball on his thighs. It's like... It's like...
First of all, the hand motion is too much. The ball's just like... I'm going to leave all that in there, and people are going to have to figure out why we're making these sounds.
That collision. I
thought
he was dead.
It's scary, huh?
Scary.
Yeah. They do such a good job of how they framed that, and I just think the way they storyboarded his lifeless body. I mean, they got that from the manga, of course, so you got to go back to its source, but it does leave you with that impression of lifelessness.
Yeah, the sense of danger, not only for him, but for the whole team.
What up? He just spits out his tooth all casually.
I know, he's like, I'm fine.
He doesn't even realize he's bleeding until Kyoko's like, you're bleeding, and he's like, oh, and then it's like...
Do they ever address that tooth in the later episodes?
Itachi's just missing a tooth the rest of his life. It's fine.
Does he go to the dentist? Like,
I mean, I hope so.
We kind of talked about Tadashi, but I think he warrants his own.
I love Tadashi. We could have a whole episode about Tadashi.
Tadashi, Stan, right here. If you stan Tadashi, talk to me.
So Tadashi is 100% your favorite character in Haikyuu right now?
Maybe.
And that's because of the growth, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, wow. This is the best character development I've seen in such a short... Not short, but you know what I mean. The episodes that he was in where it really took off was... Like, it was like a couple episodes right there. Mm-hmm. It was a long time coming, though. It
was, yeah. And I think what's cool about Tadashi and what makes him such an inspiring and fun character is that he wants to get better, and he just goes after that desire to get better. And you kind of wonder where it comes from. in a way. And, because he has this backstory of how he was bullied and Suki kind of saved him from that. But he stays in Suki's shadow, like you said in the beginning, but now he's becoming his own man. And you see how just his own work ethic and how much he strives, you can just see him, you see the captain material in him. You see that he's gone through the same things that like Kinoshita's gone through already, and he's only going to get better. That's the cool thing about Tadashi. He's not going to fall back.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing that they have someone who specializes in serves.
Yeah.
Like him. Mm-hmm. Those jump float serves, lit. Like
yeah, and you gotta love the imagery with the spear and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Love the imagery of Haikyuu.
Love it. Sugawara.
That's my boy. Sugawara's my boy.
It's your boy.
It's my boy Sugawara.
If we were introduced as like first years or something, if we were really good friends, like best friends with all of them, mm-hmm. who would we gravitate towards more? What do you think?
Ooh, I think
you'd probably do Suga and Daichi.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You'd be all with the third years.
I'd be chilling with the third years. For you, let me see. I mean, I can totally see you hanging out with Tadashi. Actually, I think you and Tadashi and Hinata
Honestly,
would be a really good group.
Yeah,
that would be the group because Hinata and Tadashi do have their own kind of friendship growing, and I see you kind of being a part of that trio.
Hinata, Tadashi, Yachi.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. You and Yachi get along great. Too bad
Maybe
you can't get
Inoshida. Because he's a little reserved.
Yeah, Noshida's reserved, but he's got like the sternness of Daichi in him.
What do we say? He's like a perfect mix of Daichi and, is it Sugawara?
Yeah, he's a perfect mix. He's got the sternness of Daichi, but like the mentorship that Sugawara brings. Because Daichi doesn't really mentor anyone the way that Sugawara does. But Sugawara's a freaking ham, and he's gonna be the one that's pulling pranks and causing trouble,
hitting people in the gut after they just almost died.
Yeah, first thing when he sees Daichi is beat the crap out of him. Daichi's puking up blood, and he's like, "Let me help you puke more."
I think it's funny because Daichi didn't even care that much.
He's just kind of like, oh,
he
keels over for a second. He knows it's coming.
But yeah, Sugawara, he's great when he's put into games with them.
Yeah, he doesn't really fold under pressure the way Kageyama kind of was starting to fold. And I think that's his one strength, is that he's already been through it all. And he's just so happy to be out there playing the game that he loves that he's not going to fall to that pressure. And when things get tough, yeah, he goes textbook and he's not as creative as Kageyama, but it's that maturity that he does have.
Yeah.
So, and he's sitting there and he's smart. Like, he's sitting there watching the game. Like, he understands volleyball. He doesn't have the instincts, yeah, but he'd be a great coach.
Oh, yeah, I do get that vibe from him.
Yeah.
Like a Yukai vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Yukai light.
I'm just saying that if Sugawara's not coaching a volleyball team at some point, then...
It's so cool because you can see all of these people as what they're going to be in the future if they stayed with this team.
Yeah, you really can. And I think that they've done such a good job of how they've crafted their personalities and their stories that the arc seems natural at this point.
Yeah. It can only go this way. Like, it's just perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Inoshida.
My boy Inoshida. There's my boys right there, I didn't tell you. Inoshida. Such #1 great voice acting in both Japanese and English. Can't say enough about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dang, his story is just so real.
Too real.
Yeah.
Like, it really hits home.
It does. I still love at the end, though, when he's in the bathroom and Daichi's praised him and he just can't accept it. He can't accept the praise, and he's thinking about how, he's a coward because he's so glad that it's over. But that's real. Like, that's a real feeling to have. Even if you enjoy something and you love doing it, like, the pressure of it, sometimes when it's over, you're just thankful that you made it through.
Yeah.
And so that was...
It just sucks that you have to watch him alone, and while everyone else is celebrating. You get it, but it's like, come on.
Somebody give that boy a hug.
Yeah. Oikawa.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Boikawa. Yeah, tell me about your journey with Oikawa, because I tell the listeners about it, because it's so, I mean, obviously if you go back and listen, you can hear him talk about how he doesn't like him, but I think just sum it up, about how crazy, what a roller coaster it's been for you.
I hated him. Like, I honestly can say I hated his character. Yeah, I honestly hated Oikawa's character. Which, what? How do you hate a character? Like, hate is a strong word, but I hated him.
I was throwing shit on the ground. Isaac would literally get physically angry whenever Oikawa was on screen.
Like, I hated when the second intro of the second season first happened. I was like, no. They, like, linger on Oikawa's face. And even just his face on the screen, I was like, no. If he's not in this game, he doesn't need to be in the intro. That's how I felt. Even up to the last game of the second season up against Aoba Josai. And it wasn't until that tragic moment happens that I really was like, whoa. Like, this is... It makes you feel for him. I had to feel for him to get past that hatred.
Yeah, in terms of development, Aoba Josai, and by development I mean, like, again, not necessarily growth, but how they peeled the layers back. Aoba Josai is the most interesting one.
They really are.
Because there's no way, I mean, I get that you can like them at the end of the first season, but how you feel about them at the end of the second season is only going to be deeper. And you're only going to really appreciate them, and not just as rivals to Karasuno, but as their own team.
And the way they break down, it's almost like there was a loss. Like, they just lost someone or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad to watch.
It's tough.
And then they take... It's similar to... It's actually really similar to the beginning of Season 1 when Asahi and Nishinoya and Suga were all blaming themselves. Waizami's blaming himself. Oikawa's kind of blaming himself. You know?
Everyone kind of feels like they're the ones responsible for the loss, but, you know, it just
happens. Karasuno did better.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say right now. Like, I knew they would do better, but I didn't think they'd do this much better.
Yeah, how much they changed, a lot of it's because of the training arc in the beginning, but I mean, how much they change over the season is phenomenal, and it's inspiring.
Nekoma.
Yeah, you see a lot more of Nekoma now. Lev. Let's talk about Lev.
Lev.
Slinky boy Lev.
One of my other favorite characters.
I love Lev.
Lev. Love Lev. Live, love, Lev.
Live, love, Lev. Live, love, Lev, guys. We're putting it on a shirt.
We have to.
We have to now.
Lev is just happy-go-lucky. He's like, if Hinata was more relaxed.
Yeah.
I would say. Because he has that kind of, doesn't know he's funny, but is one of the funniest people ever in this show. The only difference is he's, like, way taller than Hinata.
Yeah, he's like two Tinatas.
Tinata. Oh my god. Oh, is that a fusion between Tina?
Oh my god. Fusion between Tina from Bob's Burgers and Hinata. Where's my fan art of that? Commissioning now a fan art of Tina fusing Tina Belcher and Shoyo Hinata fused together to make Tinata.
She's like, Shoyo Hinata?
She would be all about it too, because she's like, butts.
Oh my god. There's a lot of scenes with Hinata from a downward angle.
Every time it jumps up, she's like,
You sparked something.
Dude, I hope I get I need a sticker of this to put on my car of Tinata. Give me my Tinata.
Is it sad that I can't see them fusing correctly? So it's just like,
there's no way they could.
Tina's top half with Hinata's
Just
bottom
butt.
half.
That's all she wants anyways, so she gets exactly what she wants.
She's just like,
It's like, butt. Oh my god.
Speaking We're having a really hard time talking about Lev.
I know. What were we talking about? Oh, Hinata. It doesn't matter anymore. We're done. We're done with talking about Tinata. Lev is great.
I'm sorry. It's too good.
I'm not editing out any of this laughter. It's staying in.
Oh. Freaking Tinata, man.
I will get that tattooed.
Imagine, like, season 4 of Haikyuu, she just comes walking. This is our new player.
This is our new player. This is our new manager. She would love to manage that team. Oh my god. But Lev is fun. I like Lev. Lev is what made me appreciate Nekoma.
Yeah.
More, for sure. Everyone's a huge Kuro fan. I get it. I get that Kuro's the tall, dorky one. The tall, handsome, dorky one. But Lev is the fun one. Lev is the one that you want to go have drinks with. Like, for sure.
I was more of a Kenma fan.
You really... Yeah, well, and I like Kenma, too. Kenma's the anti-Hinata.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
It's weird, though, because they're, like, best friends. They're, like, the only
Yeah.
ones you see texting.
Yeah, they do. They text all the time. It's kind of funny.
And when Hinata's not there, Ken was like, where is he?
Why are we here if Hinata's not here? Where is Hinata?
Why are we here? What's life if Hinata's not in it?
There we go. There's your ship, guys. Hinata and Kenma.
No.
Oh, ooh, not about it.
Delete.
Ooh, delete.
Delete
Editing
this
it.
podcast.
Delete it. Delete everything.
The whole website's going down. Nekoma, I want to see them in a match, in a real game. I don't want to see them in a practice game anymore. I want to see them play a real game against Krasno.
You ready for Land versus Sky?
Land versus Sky?
Yeah.
That was a lit trailer, if
Yeah.
I do say so myself.
It's pretty good.
Fukuro Dani. You just want to...
We just want to
End
pretend like
it.
they don't exist. Like, it's fine. I mean, unfortunately, with Fukuro Dani, at this point, we've only really seen the tip of the iceberg with them by the end of the second season. Obviously, they are... What's very fun about the show is they show what kind of camaraderie is built in sports, and you will continue to see Fukuro Dani and Nekoma be Karasuno's cheerleaders and support Karasuno, and Karasuno will always support them, and I think that's a really cool aspect that the show brings in, and it's cool because it gives you the opportunity. The nice thing about the training arc is it gives you that opportunity to see how these different people interact together, which is always fun. So
Yeah.
if you're into character interaction, that's the good thing about it, for sure.
I think that's
it.
all.
I just love your 180 on Oikawa. This is beautiful.
I was not expecting it. I had it set. I mean, you off this podcast.
We talked about it for hours.
I literally had to vent to Jackie.
Yeah.
I had to vent to her, and she was at the point. It was like, I don't understand why you hate him so much.
Yeah, I was convinced you were like projecting.
I don't know if it's projecting. He just comes across so. But now I'm fine with him. Like,
You've learned.
that moment with Ushijima, I was so good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
You excited to see some Ushijima in season 3?
No, I'm scared.
He's a big scary man, Mom.
I'm scared for Karasuno. Like, oh man.
What kind of fusion would Ushijima and Garnet make? I mean, Ushijima's got thighs too, I'm just saying.
That's all I can think about.
Just
Can we just end it?
Yeah, we're actually at that time, so... yeah.
Anyways.
As per usual, we only touched the tip of the iceberg, but we would love to hear your guys' opinion on the characters and all that fun stuff. And we talk a lot off podcast, so I don't be surprised if you see us do another special episode like this where we're just kind of talking about the shows, because we have talked in depth. Like, I'm talking like a lot of hours. I can't even begin to comprehend how much we've talked about these shows.
And we've kind of like stopped talking about the art, not because we want to, but because there's just so much more.
Yeah.
But we could have a whole episode on the art.
I would
itself.
love to do a whole episode on art. Like, we can talk about the
Yeah.
whole production of these shows.
Storyboards,
We're
animation,
all about it. All about it.
backgrounds,
So-
music.
So reach out to us, guys. You'll find all that reach out information, per usual, in our outro. But yeah, so thanks, guys, so much for joining us, and hopefully you're watching both shows. My name is Jackie, and I've been watching Steven Universe.
My name is Isaac, and I've been watching Haikyuu.
Bye!
Bye!
Hey guys, it's Jackie
And Isaac.
from Nonessential Media.
We just want to thank you guys so much for listening, and if you'd like, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel or our Patreon.
And we want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're watching along with us and what your thoughts are.
You can find us on Twitter at NonEssentialM.
We're on Facebook as Nonessential Media.
We're also on Instagram at NonEssential Media,
Check out our website, nonessentialmedia.com.
so check us out.
Thanks again for listening. We truly appreciate every single one of you.
See you guys next Saturday for a new episode of Beach City Crows. Bye! Skibbly babbly bop.